Welcome in. It's the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. That's Jason Jewell of Scout.com. I'm Jared Cohen. Commitment off the top, Jason. Chase Lucas commits to stay in state.
Yeah, Sun Devil fans should be excited. 2 weeks in a row now that the Sun Devils have landed one of the state's top prospects, both coming from the same high school. Last week, they got Chandler four-star wide receiver N'Keal Harry. On Monday, Chase Lucas, four-star athlete by Scout.com, committed to Arizona State over offers from Oregon State and from Washington.
Yeah, and also you add Marshall Nathy's commitment from Centennial to ASU. What a class Todd Graham is putting together in state. Chandler has Desert Vista in round 2, their quest for 2 consecutive state titles in motion against the Thunder this weekend. Let's get into offers now, Jason. How about a freshman quarterback, Spencer Rattler? Monster season, really impressed, and he's rewarded at the end of the year with 2 Pac-12 level offers.
Certainly a monster year. Finished the year in their loss to Brophy with a school record 420 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. Then on Monday night was offered by Arizona State, and then 10 minutes later, UCLA turned around and offered him as well. But after I talked to Spencer on Monday, he tells me what I liked was a very mature statement from a very young kid was he needs to keep his head on straight and focused to finish out his career.
And we mentioned Marshall Nathy, the ASU commit from Centennial. How about his teammate Tanner Hawthorne, first FBS level offer for him?
Yeah, it was offered by San Diego State. The Aztecs were at his game on Friday against Basha, wanted to see if he passed the eyeball test, and he certainly does. He's 6'6" and 275 pounds. Now, Centennial looking for revenge against the Hamilton squad that beat them in the regular season, going against Garrett Rand and company. Garrett had a very good game against that very good Centennial offensive line. And looking at Hamilton High School, they had 2 players also get Division I scholarship offers. Kyler Burke, their star athlete, was offered by Army, as well as wide receiver Caleb Pitts got that Army offer as well.
And staying at the Division I level, Jack Smith, his recruitment got a little interesting last week.
Yeah, he had been committed to UNLV for quite some time, turned around and said, you know what, UNLV is not where I want to go, so he opened up his recruitment. Then he got offered by New Mexico State. The Aggies lost Daniel Bridgegad, who flipped and committed to Washington, now trying to get another Arizona quarterback when they offered Smith.
And Mountain Point playing Brophy this weekend. It's been a great matchup the last few years of these 2 teams facing off. Brophy, a very senior-led veteran squad. Mountain Point loads of talent, but play a lot of underclassmen. Should be an interesting matchup in Division I. Player of the week, Jason. Let's get into Division II, where a Sunny Slope running back tore it up in round 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah, I was at the game. Sunny Slope against Vista Grande. Sunny Slope got the win in big fashion, but their player, a guy that I absolutely loved, was their running back, Jeff Goebel. Does everything, but he rushed for 288 yards, had 3 touchdowns on the ground, added a receiving touchdown, and not only that, he had one of the biggest hits I've seen all season.
Breakout prospect. I like this kid. I've seen him a couple times this year. You do as well. Jalen Harris. He had a big game last week, and we think we're going to see more out of this junior in the future.
Yeah, defensive end / wide receiver, which you don't see very much, but Jalen had 5 sacks in their win against Liberty in the first round. He's a guy that reminds me of Damani Mosby, a former Desert Ridge defensive player that's now starting at the University of Kansas.
And Desert Ridge has a big game against Chaparral, spotlighting 2 defense. We talked about Harris, another great pass rusher, and Brandon Jamison on the Chaparral side of the ball. This should be a fun game to watch. A couple more games we want to talk about before we leave at this edition of the Roundup. How about a big matchup between Estrella Foothills and Snowflake in Division IV? Yeah,
you look at Estrella Foothills, they're led by their running back, Joe Logan. When you go back and you look at his stat line, his worst game of the year, his worst one, 188 yards rushing. He has rushed for over 200 yards in 8 of their games this season. Absolutely ridiculous. Going against a very good Snowflake defense that surrendered only 90 points on the year. Very good matchup at that level.
Should be a great one. One more to hit on in Division II, Queen Creek against Saguaro. These 2 teams have played in the playoffs each of the last 2 seasons. They know each other very well this time of year. Should be a lot of fun to watch. Jason, they've got an offensive attack that should be interesting, are the Bulldogs against a talented Saguaro secondary.
You know, Queen Creek's been known for their run game. With the injury of Gavin Danielson, it's kind of opened up their passing game, with quarterback Caleb Honea having a big game last week, had 4 touchdown passes, going against that excellent Saguaro secondary. KJ Jarrell, just a junior, but one of the top juniors in the state, and Byron Murphy, the senior star, the top prospect in the state of Arizona.
That's Jason Jewell. I'm Jared Cohen. This has been the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity.